Greetings. I hope everybody is doing okay. Now this is a quick one tugenda kulwawo nnyo. Naddala gwagamba nti oyagala nnyo Ibrahim Traore ow'eggwanga erya Burkina Faso olunaku olwaleero. This is a must watch. Naddala gwage ina mentality egamba nti Uganda okukyuka okufuna obukulembeze obulungi e Uganda, okufuna Uganda ey'ebirooto bya bannayuganda eyina okuba n'omukulembeze ali mu characters, ayina mentality, ayina qualities, ayina beliefs ngeza Ibrahim Traore. Wetaga okulaba this video right here. Ekyennaku population y'e Uganda oba community y'e Uganda tujja kubaddira later on. Naye gwagamba nti oyagala Uganda egoberera amateeka, Uganda etataliza muntu kuliiso, Uganda obuli bw'enguzi obulyake n'obukenuzi bwe busangira justice. Eno yo video yo gwabadde anoonyeza Ibrahim Traore mu ggwanga eddala mu direction endala nga simply obadde to paying attention ng'obadde tutunula na liiso lyankaliriza. Tuula video eno kubanga tugenda kuyambako okutunuza mu direction entuufu. Nzikiriza nkwanjulire Ibrahim Traore gwe gw'obadde onoonya naye nga ndi wano kumalamu amaanyi nti akubadde mu maaso ekyenjawulo ekiriwo nti obadde to paying attention. Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu didn't inherit the opposition. He transformed it. Where the past figures challenged power from the comfort of political podiums, he emerged from the dust of the ghetto, barefooted and unbought. He came not with political promises, but with a song on his lips and fire deep down his soul. While others spoke to the elites of the then, Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu sang to us, the unforgotten. He turned his microphone into a weapon, stages into battlegrounds, and concerts into rallies for change and for the revolution. His fight was not handed down through political dynasties. It was carved from lived injustices, police batons, prison bars, and silenced dreams. He didn't enter politics. He disrupted politics. He didn't campaign. He simply awakened. In a nation where fear was a currency, Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu, aka Bobby Wine, traded in courage. He reminded a generation that democracy isn't just something we wait for, but democracy is something that we demand. Where previous leaders fought within the rules, Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu exposed how rigged the game had become. He gave a voice to the border riders, the mothers in the markets, the youths in the ghetto, the students, the artists, and every Ugandan who dared to believe that the future could belong to them. He made resistance relatable and a revolution reachable. In Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu, Uganda didn't just find an opposition leader. It found a movement, a mirror, a megaphone, a threat to tyranny born not into political halls but in the heartbeats of a common Ugandan. He is not a politician who found fame. He is a famous voice that found a purpose. Robert Kyagulanyi Sentamu is what happened, or is what happens when art refuses to stay silent, when music becomes a manifesto, and when the oppressed finally answer back. Where the old guards asked for patience, he demanded for accountability. Where others sat across from power, he stood against it unloud, unshaken, and uninvited. His courage was not just polished in the boardrooms. It was forged in running battles with the police, in courtrooms of the injustice, and in the blood-stained memories of his dear friends who turned into martyrs. He took a broken system on trial, not in their courts, but in the consciousness and in the conscience of the people. He made it clear that leadership isn't about titles. It's all about sacrifice. He gave us the youth language for our anger, and the poor a direction for their faith and for their pain. And when the state tried to silence him, they only amplified him. Every arrest added on his story, every bullet sharpened his voice, and every tear gas canister became another verse in the anthem of resistance. In a country long taught simply to kneel, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu told us to stand, not with hate, but with hope, not with violence, but with volume. He turned our fear into fuel, and he made people power not just a slogan, but a shield and a chant and a promise. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu doesn't simply lead the opposition, as many want to assume. He redefined what an opposition should look like. Not a seat in parliament, but a stand in history. Not a name on the ballot, but a flame in the hearts of millions. They've tried to label him a singer, a rebel, a misfit of their generation. But Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu refused every box they've built for him. Because he wasn't simply running for an office, he was running towards justice. He didn't ask for permission to lead us. He simply answered the people's cry for a new voice. His power was never in two positions, but in presence. In a system drowning in silence, he became a voice for the voiceless. In a country choked with fear, he became our breath. In a sea of apathy, he became emotion. When others counted power, he confronted it. When they compromised, the nigger resisted. His campaign was not funded by the rich. It was simply fueled by the poor, the brave, the restless. He walked where armored cars ruled. He stood where blades flew. He dared to say enough, and he meant it. The ghetto raised him, but the nation embraced him, not as a savior, but as their symbol. A reminder that true leadership does not simply come from the above, but from the below, from the dirt, from the drums, and from the dreams of the ordinary people. He didn't just enter politics, as many wish to assume. He simply exposed our politics. He didn't just shake the throne. He simply made millions question why this so-called throne still existed. In doing so, he turned a one-man protest into a generational movement. When they beat him, they thought they broke him, but all they did was to make sure that his message becomes louder. Every bruise on his body became a broadcast. Every scar on his body became a symbol. Every courtroom appearance became a headline they couldn't resist. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu did not wait for freedom. He forced it into every daily conversation, not with thanks, but with truth. Not with an army, but with art. Not with fear, but with faith in an ordinary people. He is not just fighting power. He is fighting for a Uganda where power serves but not rules. A Uganda where being young is not a crime and being poor is not in a sentence. To some, he is controversial. To us, the majority, the Gen Zs, he is a necessary and a necessity. And to our dear history as a country, he will forever never be unforgotten. Gwabadde anoonya Ibrahim Traore ng'omunoonyeza mu ggwanga eddala. What if I told you nti Ibrahim Traore gw'oli mu kunoonya akubadde mu maaso atattira muntu ku liiso, regardless of your class, regardless of your social background, ono takuttira ku liiso. Kyova olaba tuli bwe tuti mu kye twayisa protest vote, Woland.